Hi everyone! Despite my lack of success with my last video, here I am again with another color analysis of another Baldur's Gate 3 character. I'm having so much fun with this series, so I truly want to keep on doing it. So today we have Wyll. I've chosen him due to his skin color and my need to go out of my comfort zone to check any points I need to improve in my analysis. This one is going to be exactly like the Shadow Heart analysis. I'm taking into consideration only one screenshot that's from the character selection. Remembering you all, it has fun and practicing purposes. So let's begin. Firstly, we have a warm red and a cold red and then a comparison between them. Before I tell you what I see, I want to show you that the two pictures are exactly the same. See? So we can clearly perceive how his skin tone looks darker near the cooler red and brighter near the warmer one. Now we need to analyze which one of these effects is positive. In my perception, the glow given by the warm red looks better than the darkness provided by the cool red. It's not that he looks bad with his skin looking a bit darker, but the warm red gives him a healthier look. Depending on the screen, I can see an excessive redness or grayness when he's near the cold red, so this first round of tests to check if his undertone is warm or cool, the warm color won. Now we have two light colors, pink and peach. It's very easy to see, even without the comparison, that the pink looks disconnected from him and the peach looks more in harmony. The comparison shows us that the pink lightens his skin a little, but there is far too much separation between him and this hue to consider this color as the best one. Also, the difference between the color of his skin is not that accentuated when compared to the red face. So in this second round, the warm color won again. Now we have brown and navy blue, and we can see once again how these colors change his skin tone. He looks brighter in front of the brown and darker in front of the navy blue. The glow provided by the brown also gives him a healthier effect. Something curious about this face is that I was afraid he would lose definition with the brown, but no, he looks in harmony with the color, while the navy blue creates not only a darker effect but also separation. So third round, warm color won again. Now we have blue and some sort of rust color. This one I found extremely tricky because up to now all the answers pointed to a warm undertone, but this one points to coolness. In front of the blue, his skin shows a healthy glow, while the rust darkens him not exactly in a positive way. Despite the other results, this one I elected the cool color as the best because the more I look at it, the better it looks on him. However, we still have three comparisons that shows us he is obviously more to the warm side. This fourth round is only showing us that there are other chromatic aspects that play a big role in his coloring. I will not elaborate too much now because it can create bias and get in the way of the analysis. So for now, he has a warm undertone, that's all, and the consequence is that he belongs to spring or autumn palettes. Finalized the undertone battery test, now we have the intensity test. If he harmonizes better with high intensity colors, he will be considered a spring, and if he's closer to low intensity colors, he will be considered an autumn. So now we have a high intensity green against a low intensity one. The first green is clearly too much for him, but the second doesn't look exactly good, so I've added a green that is a little brighter than the second and another less bright than the first. The second brightest looks better than the first, but it's still not perfect, while the one that's muted but not so much simply matches him gorgeously. Looking better in warm colors that are also more to the muted side places Wyll inside the autumn spectrum. Now that we are sure about his overall season, it's time to find out which subgroup he belongs to, if he's a deep, soft or warm autumn. We'll begin with Autumn Deep, the subgroup that has value as its main chromatic characteristic. which can be translated to warm and darker colors. Let's begin with this warm purple, which I think looks perfect on him. Really, there is no mismatch here. Next, we have this brown that is quite close to his skin color but does look good overall. Now we have this darkened yellow that looks even a bit orangey. It's not as good as the last two, but it looks fine. It's like it's at the limit, but the skin is glowing very nicely. Next we have this teal, which is just perfect, similar to the warm purple. And lastly we have this autumn deep red that's not as perfect as the teal, purple and brown, but makes his skin look good too. Colors that are naturally brighter are the ones with the less perfect result, which may explain what happened in the undertone phase. But let's keep going to see if we discover more aspects of Wyll's coloring before jumping into conclusions. The next subgroup is Autumn Soft, the subgroup which has softness as its main chromatic characteristic. Our first color is this green that we've already seen in the intensity phase, and we already know that Wyll is a little more intense than this color. It doesn't overpower him, but it pulls him down slightly because it's not at the same level of intensity as he is. Next we have this very soft red or warm pink, which I think it's too light for him. The undertone is correct, but its other chromatic features are not very aligned with his. Now we have this soft orange that I like a bit more than the autumn deep orange / yellow, probably because it's more muted than the later. Next we have this beige, which just like the green, it's not as intense as him, but doesn't look bad. This color could be used as a neutral together with other more suitable colors. The last one from this subgroup is mustard. I think it looks good, but it's a bit too light for him, but not bad. After all, we are inside the autumn palette, so no color here will look bad. We're only searching for those that are a perfect match. Our last subgroup is autumn warm, its main chromatic characteristic being warmth. Our first color is red, which is a bit too much for him in terms of intensity. Next we have this orange that's a bit too much too, just like the red. Now we have a green. This one I truly like on him. This combination is a very harmonious. However, the next green, which is a darker shade, is simply perfect. My favorite one from this selection. Lastly, we have this warm brown, very close to orange, and this one, contrary to the autumn deep brown, is making him lose a bit of definition, blending slightly with his complexion. After testing all the season subgroups, now we need to test all the borderline seasons to be sure about his palette or even displace any doubt we might have considering his chromatic characteristics. So we'll begin with Summer Soft, which is borderline with Autumn Soft. Our first color is this quite cool gray that not only is too soft for him but also too cool. The weak effect Autumn Soft caused on him is exacerbated by the coolness of the summer palette, creating even more disconnection between Wyll and the color. Next we have a sand color that's better than the previous one because its undertone is a tad dubious. It's still too soft for him. Now we have a soft pink that not only looks disconnected from him but also creates a ruddy effect on his skin. The cool brown looks fine, not awesome because it's less intense than him, but could work nicely as a neutral in situations where you want a color that's more low profile. And our last color, sage green, looks very similar to the soft pink. It's disconnected and makes him look ruddy. Now we have the spring warm color selection, which is overall too bright for him. All of these colors caught our eyes first, and then there's Wyll. It's working worse than the Summer Soft in my opinion. And finally we have Winter Deep, the winter subgroup that's borderline with Autumn Deep, sharing the value as their main chromatic characteristic. I don't know how you guys feel about this purple, but I feel relaxed just by looking at it due to how nicely it works on Wyll. Black looks good too. This petroleum is just gorgeous. This color and the purple are even making me question myself if I placed him in the right season, but let's keep going. This darker magenta is a tad brighter than recommended, and this red too. However, the red looks a little better than the magenta because the color fits his skin tone slightly better. Now, just to make sure I didn't mess up in the undertone phase, let's compare Winter Deep with Autumn Deep. When comparing the reds, we can clearly notice the autumn red looks better, exactly like in the undertone phase. His skin acquires a beautiful glow when he's next to the warmer red. Because pink and magenta are cool colors, we're comparing it with this burnt yellowy orange, and in this comparison, the autumn color also looks better on him than the winter color. Now we have petroleum and teal, and once again the autumn teal is more in harmony with Wyll, just like the warm purple and the brown. So yes, despite the Winter Deep palette looking very nice on him, his primary season is Autumn Deep, and his second one is Winter Deep. His dominant chromatic feature is the depth, which means darker colors, preferably warm and not too bright. I personally think he has a good tolerance for cool colors as long as they're dark. He's a true case of someone whose undertone doesn't play too much of a big role. We notice that the right undertone is better indeed, but the wrong one is not bad at all. In my analysis, what he needs to avoid the most is bright colors, and that's probably the reason why his undertone is quite secondary, because warm colors are naturally brighter than cool colors, and he definitely looks good in warm versions of cool colors. If I had to elect a third season, it would be Autumn Soft. The colors are a tad too soft for him, but they work nicely as neutrals and look better than Autumn Warm. So that's it for Wyll. He's a handsome Autumn Deep who can pull Winter Deep colors quite well. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up, your impressions in the comment section, and subscribe to this channel. Bye!